Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crowdsourced challenge, where today we're harvesting some canola, but with a slight tweak. I do have the canola straw mod in, and if you're watching yesterday's stream, you'll have seen that we were dropping basically no straw. Made one little tweak, that was removing the Better Ground Scales mod, and suddenly we're dropping actual straw. It's probably screwed something up in the save, but I don't really mind. I think Better Ground Scales made things look a bit weird and wrong, so we're dropping straw from our canola harvest. Thanks to the canola straw mod. It is just bog standard straw, by the way. It's the same straw as you get from wheat or barley. And the reason that I've put that mod in is basically just because in real life you can bale canola straw. I don't know why, but you can. In terms of videos and stuff on the channel, I do apologise for there being none the last few days. I haven't been feeling like playing Farm Sim too much. Plus, I didn't want to have 2 or 3 videos in a row where I was stacking bales or doing slurry, and that's what it would have been. We're probably into the period. Honestly, there's probably like maybe 2 videos left before I finish up, so they're going to be a bit kind of sparse. On the ground video wise for the near future. I don't see the point in making videos for the sake of making videos. Once I get to winter, once we finish this harvest, that's me finished with FS17. If you're wondering how the hell I've only got 1100 euros in the save game, by the way, it's because I went on a buying spree. We only have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 fields that we haven't bought yet. And basically everything that I'm making from the harvest, I'm basically filling the trailer and selling it straight off. Everything we're making from the harvest is going straight, being just straight sold off. I'm tempted to even sell the hay and straw that we have stored and sell this off. If we do, I know that I'm not supposed to use, zoomies, but we're doing it anyway. We're kind of at the point now where the series is kind of over. We're just kind of finishing it off. Yeah, this is gonna fill the trailer. I do actually have a combine. I didn't realize this. I do have a combine mod in that I didn't realize I had, or didn't remember I had. So when I go under the spout here, under the pipe, it's gonna do absolutely nothing because I gotta get into the combine again, press R. And now it'll unload until it's empty, and I just want to, in the meantime, check where I want to be selling the canola. It's going to be Gipsy Hill, because it's 34.17, rising slowly. 34, oh, hang on. Balamory store suddenly has it at 35.39.89 a ton. That is probably where I want to be selling my canola. So we got 5 tons here, that's just over, probably just under 20,000 euro we're making from this. So I think going to Balamory stores with this and just straight selling it. I know the plan was to make our own pig food, and I had great plans for this series, but it just kind of all fell apart when I realized that I was running under the impression there were several months left in Farm Sim and not several weeks. It all came down to me just messing up my timings of stuff and maybe taking a bit too long on some things, not taking long enough on others, and the timings just went off, unfortunately. What we are going to do is just kind of ignore some of the rules for the remainder of this, like the 1 times walking speed, because I'm going to zip around and just buy fields. Because number one, I don't think you guys are going to want to watch me driving around buying fields. It's a lot easier to zip over stupid speeds. And number two, it just makes it a bit easier to get around to the different fields. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to sell this trailer off. I do want to do some more harvesting today. This isn't going to be a video where I, you know, sell a trailer load of crop and then just go around very slowly buying fields. I'm going to sell this trailer load of crop and then just zip around buying up fields real quick and then get back into the field harvesting again. So I know a lot of you guys that may be watching might have already finished with your Farm Sim 17. If you have, and you're still watching, that is kind of amazing. I applaud you. You know, I know that we're into the period that's 21,000. I've got... Ah, I'm short by 900. Okay. Over to field 28 we go. We should be able to buy field 28. 9,000. Bought. Field 33 is just up over here. It's right here. 24,000. Oh, that's going to be a troublemaker. I think 29 and 30 might both be quite expensive. 13,000. That's a bit much. 31. Well, field 32 might be relatively cheap. 14,000, that's a bit too much for us right now. 31 over here is 23,000, a bit too much for us right now. Field 34, which is right here. 8,000 bought. We're down to 3,000. We might be able to get another field out of it. 35, 36 are both relatively small. 10 grand. Nope. 11 grand. Okay, nope. So I'm just going to tab over to the class again and get moving back into the field. And this is going to be basically what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this series. The rest of FS17 in general is we're going to go on 1 time acceleration so that the prices don't get too wonked. And yeah, we've got, I think, after field 3, whatever field we're harvesting, because I can't remember off the top of my head. After whatever field we're harvesting, we've got the cornfield to do, which it probably isn't going to be making us much money, but it's going to make us a bit of money. We've got the sugar beet field to do, which should make us actually quite a bit of money. And I'm kind of tempted to palletize the beets, even though it's quite time consuming, because I do have the price doubler mod installed that doubles the price if you go to the trouble of palletizing your beets. So that's kind of an idea that I've got, and it'll be something that I can just kind of set up some sort of weird system to do. What else do I plan on doing? That's pretty much it. Like, it's just going to be animals. I'm going to bring this into winter to see if we can buy the rest of the fields, because we will be getting a decent amount of money from the cows, and the pigs won't make anyway, but I do need to feed the cows. You can see the health is at 18%. Water is very, very low. I think they're pretty much out of food. So I do need to feed the cows, probably off camera, just for ease. And full disclosure here, I'm going to be buying, I'm going to cheat money in and just lease a self-propelled loader, or self-propelled mixer wagon, just so that I can get it done relatively quickly and get the cows fully fed. But yeah, we are very close to the end of this game now on the channel, which is kind of odd. I might do some like bonus videos of like my favorite things and what I really liked about the game and what I'm hoping to see from FS19, what I'm hoping to do in FS19, because I do have some hopes and dreams. The big problem I see right now with FS19, I'll be very honest with you guys, is it's going to take a while for mods to come out. We don't have GE8 yet, and the longer we're left waiting for Giants Editor 8, the new Giants Editor, to come out, the longer it's going to be before we start seeing new mods. And kind of mainly good mods. And there's also an issue there with there's no Blender exporter for Giants Editor 8 yet, so that's kind of a secondary issue that the likes of Maddox.js, OxygenDavid, Bullet Bill, and a lot of modders that you guys would know, a lot of the UK guys, they might not be able to get mods out at all. You know, CD models as well will be one of them. The Blender exporter, in my eyes, is something that is of immense importance to Farm Sim as a game, and of immense importance to modding. So I'm hoping Giants can work out the kinks with that and get it out to modders as soon as possible. Same with Giants out, same with the new G. But the longer it takes for a Blender exporter to exist for FS19, the more the longer. You know, with GE, that's for maps. With the Blender exporter is for tractors, trailers, combines, anything that's a model. No Blender exporter means it's going to be very, very difficult to make a mod. Not impossible. I've heard of some people with plans and ideas on how they can get mods made with no Blender exporter, or no official Blender exporter. But it's, you know, an extra wrench in the modding, the gears of modding, effectively. But I'm confident the Giants will work out the kinks and get Blender exporter running and working and out to guys as soon as they possibly can. So, fingers crossed. Another thing that I'm kind of concerned about is because there won't be many mods that will be kind of all YouTubers. This is more of a YouTuber problem than anything else, but we'll all be on the stock maps. You know, Ravenport, the European map that I can't remember the name of, and Estancia La Pacho for quite a while. So you might see people going up into the 70s and 80s with episodes on those maps. I do have a plan in place myself to reduce episode numbers. I will be putting up daily videos of FS19, doing daily streams of FS19, as I do right now. As I did previous with FS17, I will be doing daily content on that. And I do have a plan to reduce episode numbers and to get a bit of variety going on the channel, so do not fear. Dave is here with one of his stupid ideas. Although it's not actually all that stupid this time. It's one of those ideas that actually will work. It's just going to require me to keep track of stuff. Which makes it stupid. Because it involves me actually keeping track of things. But it should be okay. Obviously, another little thing is when FS19 releases, there won't be a video from me on November 20th. Mainly because I will be spending November 20th primarily flying. I leave Germany at, I think it's 9 AM, nearly 10 AM, and I won't be back in Ireland until after 4 PM. So that's going to be a bit problematic. Also, after Saturday, or after Sunday, I guess, after the clocks go back, you might notice if I do Farm Sim or do something that involves time, that my PC time, my system time, might be a bit weird looking, and will be wrong. That's because I'm intentionally not going to put my clocks back. Because I'm heading to Germany so soon after the clocks go back, I don't see the point in moving my clocks back and kind of acclimatizing to the clocks being back an hour and then moving back forward the hour. It's just easier for me mentally, because I do have issues sleeping and getting a rhythm going, to stick with the Central European time. The streams will all be at normal times for you guys, by the way. So I'll be starting my streams at, 5 to 7 Irish time, in theory, but they might be just, you might see the time being different on my computer, or me referring to the time as being different, and that's just because I'm moving daylight savings for myself a bit this year, which officially isn't a thing, but it's something I'm going to do anyway. So if I get confused or confuse any of you guys by doing that, I do apologize. It's just so that I can kind of have a time in my mind where I'm like, okay, I'm on European time now. This is the, and start moving my sleeping pattern forward in the right time zone, effectively. I don't want to be waking up at 5 AM GMT, because that'll be, you know, 6 AM. I might be better off moving my clock back. Now that I think about it. Being up an hour earlier than I need to might actually be a good idea. No. That'll be an hour later. Yeah, I need to keep the clock forward, don't I? Yeah, I need to keep the clock forward for it to make any sense at all, because then I'd be up like an hour later than I'd need to. Yeah. Yeah, I need to keep the clock. I basically need to keep on summertime for an extra few weeks. Just so that I can adjust my body clock to the times that I'll need in Germany. Because I'll want to, based on information from Mr. Simulate, I want to be waking up at about 5 every morning. There or thereabouts. So it's just going to be something that I'll want to get used to in advance. I'm currently about 5 hours out, so I'm doing well. I'm about 5 hours out. I woke up at 10:30 this morning, so I'm not doing too badly on the Dave is actually fixing his bloomin' sleeping pattern for once and doing it properly method of fixing my sleeping pattern. The only problem is I'm currently going to bed at like 5 AM. So I'm just not sleeping, is my problem now. Bear with me a second, I've got a can of Pepsi sat in front of me that I'm just about to open. There we go. I'm a bit thirsty. So we have the barley field harvested, the canola field is now harvested. I don't want to harvest the corn field today because I don't have a corn header, so we're going to skip through field 15 here. We're going to go down to field 18, which we'll go down to field 34 actually. Or is it 38? Whichever one has the weird wonk in it. We'll go down to the fields of the pig yard. I think it might actually be 38 that I'm going to. Yeah, 38. For some reason I have it in my mind that it's field 34 and I'm not sure why. But it's field 38 we're heading to. And we'll get that harvested up. The reason that I'm not doing field 16 right now is basically because I've got the combine stuck. I've really got the combine stuck. Yeah, it's actually stuck. Avert your eyes, people who like realism, because I've just teleported a combine harvester. The reason I'm not doing field 16 right now is because I'd have to cut through field 17 and I actually need to get the corn header. Well, I need to get the sugar beets done first, I think, and I'll need to kind of check that later on. So comically I'm going to get very little straw off the barley field, which is actually intended for straw. This wheat field though, we're going to get plenty off, so it should balance out. And I am going to just sell the straw bales. All the straw fields are actually nearby to straw sell points. There's one down here at the pigs, and there's one up at the main yard with the cows. So might be that our final stream is just cheat loading. We're going to use auto load because it's easier. Just going to auto load bales and sell them off and just see how much money we make and see if we can in fact get every field on the map, because that'd be kind of a cool way to finish the game, is with victory in this little challenge. Now I do know, by the way, that I do have the trailer still full, well, still with 16% canola. That's fine. What I'll do is I'll just get this combine hopefully full. The 2.5 tons per acre yield on this wheat, we should be doing pretty well. comically, by the way, the tonnage you can hold every different crop is different depending on what crop it is with the trailers. And that's true in real life because, you know, trailer fill levels are realistically decided by what volume of the crop you can put in. So with Giants having it as litres, it makes sense in terms of, like, you can put the same volume of every crop in, but different crops have different weights and different densities, so the tonnages might be vastly different. Like with canola, we were getting about 2 tons of canola per combine, or per full tank here, and already we're almost at a full ton of wheat, just because wheat is a much smaller grain than canola. So you can fit more of it in. Also, interestingly, it seems like the wheat has a much lower yield than canola for some reason, even though it doesn't. It just kind of seems like that because the combine seems to be filling slower because I'm not actually entirely sure why. It's just this weird little thing. Possibly because we're getting better tonnage out of it. But you can see now with the default straw swaths back enabled, I really think that better ground size is more aimed at when you've got a huge combine than something this size. Now that we've got proper straw swaths enabled again, the defaults, you can see that we are actually getting decent yield. We're getting proper straw dropped solidly at all times, as opposed to the barley field, which is very, very patchy straw. As you can see as well, we are actually getting more straw out of this than we did out of the canola. As I completely whiffed the turn there. GG Dave. You can also see the pigs have pooped quite a lot, and I've not been taking care of them at all. I think they might also be out of food, so I might need to buy a pallet of pig food for them. Or a bag of pig food, I should say. We're at 1.5 tons of wheat here, and we're starting to run out of time for this video. That's fine. We'll just get another... We'll hopefully get the combine full, then we'll sell off the remaining canola. I do want to sell off the remaining canola today and in this video, and the next video I do is going to be kind of a cheaty one because I'm going to cheat some money in, probably through a loan. Honestly, I'm going to get some money in through a loan. We're going to rent out sugar beet harvester, and we're going to jump from doing wheat to actually doing some sugar beets, and that'll be tomorrow's video, hopefully, if I can remember to record it. That's the plan. That's the plan, at least. I don't know if it'll happen properly, but that's what I'd like to do. Because if I can get the sugar beets harvested, then what I can do actually is have the John Deere kind of on call at the yard, shoveling the sugar beets into the palletizer and moving the pallets. Which actually wouldn't be a terrible idea. Or I guess I could use the... Well, I could use the I could use the Bobcat to shovel the beets into the palletizer. Use the John Deere to move the pallets. Ha ha. See, told you guys I got the Bobcat for a good reason. And if that's the case, I'd be better off doing it up at the placeable yard, wouldn't I? Huh. Yeah, that'll be a good idea. This is 90% full. I'm gonna kind of go a bit over the 25 minutes that I like doing those videos. We're gonna probably be closer to half an hour today. And you can see now that we're mainly in tram lines at the moment because of the way this field ended up going, that the straw is getting a bit sketchier. We're not getting as much wheat out of the crop, which makes sense because there's not as much crop here, because it's, you know, tram lines. We are going to get a bit of the way through this second headland and fill the combine. Well, most of the way through, because we're nearly at the end of the second headland. There's the combine full and I wasn't paying enough attention. It only took a small bit out of the crop. So we're just going to leave the combine there like that. Going to hop into the class now. And get this over to Ballamore stores. Set it off, and that'll be another video in the books. We are, like I said, coming very close to the end of Farm Sim 17 on this channel. I would go through till spring or whatever, but I really feel like the end of autumn, start of winter is a kind of a natural jumping off point for seasons. I feel like, you know, you get the cycles. If you get to the end of a cycle to winter time, that's kind of a natural time to start to finish, as opposed to being in like midsummer and just stopping. Being in winter, you know, there's nothing in the ground, there's nothing to worry about. The farm is kind of secured for the winter, we'll say, and you know, you can do all the work in the spring and get everything fertilized and everything in the spring. So winter I always feel is a good jumping off point with seasons. I think everybody's trying to get one last harvest in. I was talking to Landy Kid earlier and he said he's trying to just do one more harvest in Farm Sim as well, and then that'll be it from him. I don't know if he's even going to get that final harvest in, but that's his kind of plan in his head box. So let's set off the remainder of this canola. And I wonder, can we rent, with the money we have, the beat equipment? So there's no roper thing. That's kind of annoying. Can I... Oh, I can lease this with the money I have, which means I can probably also lease... No, we're short by a few thousand. So I'll just go into the bank here. Where is it? Just borrow 10,000 so that we can rent the Grimmer Rootster. And we will be doing sugar beets in the next video. Until then, I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on Shamrock Valley in the Crowdsourced Challenge. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.